Well, I guess I'm live. It's 10 o'clock. Well, things are going good. Let's start the show. I love this. It's just like it never stops. It just keeps on changing. I love it. Well. Good evening, one and all. Hello, friends. My name is Bill, and you are watching Bill's Box of Sound. It is Saturday night. It is January the 13th. Friday the 13th, falling on a Saturday. Who knew? Well, anyway, um, this is where we come to talk about music, weirdness, and just have some fun, okay? We like to have fun. And I love it that you people come and hang out with me. And Roman's supposed to come down here. I told him 10 o'clock, and he's glued to his iPad. He talks to his friends on his iPad, and he plays games and stuff. He's a normal 8-year-old kid, almost 9, less than a month and a half until his birthday. And well, what can I say? Let's have a sip of Diet Coke, and we'll start talking about things. My apologies that I was not here last week. Um, just was way too tired from New Year's and taking care of a whole bunch of other stuff. So I took last week off, and here I am again for you. I got lots of stuff to talk about. It's ridiculous. And hopefully, we're going to have a good time. Talk in a chat room. Hit the like button. If you are here for the first time, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button so you find out what's going on with this channel. I put out a new video in the past week or so. It was a short one about changing a stylus on a turntable. And let's see, well, let me just do that to make sure I get no extraneous noises from that. And we got all sorts of fun people in the chat room. Hello, Paul Ayers. Good to see you. He says, are there any plans for a future Part 2 Spudlock release? Well, of course there is, but basically, I, I gotta start recouping the money that I spent on the first one to make a second one. If there is another release from me and or Spudlock this year in 2024, um, it will probably take place as a digital only release. And I'm also probably going to start making available on the Bandcamp page homemade CD copies of the Spudlock album because, well, let me just show it to you right here. That's the album by Spudlock, and it is a wonderful little vinyl release, as all of you regular folks will know, and you're sick of hearing it, but if you don't own the album already, well, it's your fault that you don't have it. Anyway, so we'll try that, and if you do want to pick up a copy of that for your very own, well, just go to spudlock.bandcamp.com and you will be able to get a copy of your own Terumple and Fetish. And for a limited time, people who do order the album, as well as getting their own download code for the album, will also be getting a copy of an old CD that I put out once, which is called Cheese Sandwich. It's about 70 minutes of noise and weirdness. And, I always say to people, here, enjoy this CD of over an hour of annoying noise. And, well, people come back and they say, this isn't annoying at all. I kind of like it. And, I've been getting good reviews from people. When Mikey Bananas of Grown Man Record Night did his review of the year, he said that that the Spudlock album was one of the, if not the favorite new album that he picked up this year. It was mighty flattering and mighty humbling to hear that. So, I make this stuff because I like it, not because I'm trying to force it down people's throats. So, I'm going to try and make the individual tracks available to listen to on YouTube. But it's really easy. All you got to do is go to the Bandcamp site and click on it, and you can listen to tracks from the album, determine whether or not you like it or not. So that's that. Let's check on some other chats here, and we'll see if there's anything else that we can address before I tell you some more stuff about Spudlock, which I just found out today. I was very excited about this, and you'll understand why, especially when I tell you about it. Okay, so Chief Dancing Ostrich, sup? How you doing? She says, I tried Diet Coke. Tastes better than regular, but not the best, but beats regular Coke. Well, the main reason that I drink Diet Coke is because there's no sugar in it. There's no carbohydrates in it. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I can't have a lot of carbs. I have to very, very carefully watch my carbohydrate intake. As a matter of fact, I wear a glucose monitor, which shows up on my watch and on my phone and lets me know what my blood glucose is, so I don't get sick. Anyway, Paul also says, still loving that Art Devo release. Yeah, it is fantastic. I've got to get the digital version of it myself. Hello, Vendetta. Good to see you as always. And let's see, you're more of a Diet Pepsi guy. Hey, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy. Good evening to Nate Bouchard. What's up with you? Let's see here. Rick DeSarl. Hey, Rick. It's going. How is it going? Well, I don't know. I haven't been in touch with Steve Howe. Never met the man in person, but it's going well. If you're just asking how is it going, but I get it. And let's see what else we got. Saint Brando, really like the Mothers of Invention, Fillmore East 71, Mother of All live albums. Yes, I saw that you had watched the my review of the Super Deluxe box set as well as the 3 record vinyl version of the Fillmore East album. Very happy that you had got into that. We've also got the one, the only, the world famous Thumpfinger. Hello, Thumpfinger. Good evening to you and good to see you. I was watching a couple of your videos and I saw a very interesting looking Residence compilation. I think at the beginning of your video, it was showing some of the Residence commercial album videos. And then it went to something else completely different. It was a really neat compilation that could have only been done by the Residents themselves. I know that you're a big Primus fan, a big Les Claypool fan. You're into a lot of cool bass stuff, and you are a bass player on your own, so that is awesome. Carlos Van Chang, hello, what's up with you? And good to see you. I know you like all weird stuff as well. And back to Chief Dancing Ostrich, I have to drink the diets as well. Haven't found Pib Zero yet. Ooh, I wonder if that Pib Zero is isolated to certain parts of the country. That'd be interesting. So let me bring that down here. So yeah, join in on the conversation. I might start talking and not intentionally ignoring you folks, but I want to get stuff done here. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a page here. I got an email from the other half of Spudlock, who was Todd, and he said that he had put up a whole new blog post. He's got a blog, and and he put up stuff about Spudlock, and I took a quick look at it, and I was mighty flattered by it, and I, I I love hearing his take on things. So we're gonna bring it up on the screen. Give me a second here. Let's see. Where's the share the screen with that one right there? Yeah, there it is. Boom, there it is. And it's Ricochet's junk blog. Okay. And he's got this thing that says 2024, the new year, the old backup. Anybody who is interested in this can go to rickdog.us/htmly slash. Maybe I'll share it in the in the show notes afterwards. But anyway, he's writing this stuff and he goes and he says, "What is it? Will it hurt us? Does it come from outer space or did it drop in my yard after some type of hurricane?" No, simply put, it's a Behringer micro mixer connected to a $30 microphone. Under it is an Office Depot paper box lid. Let's take a look at that. See that right there? The Office Depot box? Okay. Remember when you needed to buy paper like this for copy machine, which was always broken? It covers a Canon scanner. Behind that is a Tascam DAT player, digital audio tape, a Canon black and white laser printer, print cartridge, and my very first tape cassette deck, a Sanyo, bought from Home Centers. That was a little bit better because it had Dolby B and C and separate level controls for neat stereo mixing. Oh, yes, and a vinyl record of a band called Spudlock. The album is called Meh, and it's actually an updated version of the album my friend Bill Shammer Bipsky. Now, let me stop you right there because I want you to know that Todd and I have used all sorts of aliases in our lifetimes. You know, he's been Toad Leaderpiece, Rick Tefrenzen, and other things, including Ricochet. But yeah, he's Todd, and Bill Shammer-Bipsky is one of the names he made up for me. Anyway, name change to protect Jerry Lewis, and I foisted on the public in the early 90s. Now, on the graphics for the album, Bill goes into detail about how this collection of tunes came to be. It all comes down to my Sanyo tape deck on my end. I bought it to record another wannabe band, The Unedible 2, which was my friend Pete and I's attempt to be rock stars. Funny, I have no talent. Bill and I became mutual friends through Pete. Bill had lots of talent. I'd like to think that I still do. He could play guitar, bass, had keyboards, and a drum machine. He's a drummer by trade. I guess he saw a spark of something in the noodles created by myself and Pete. We decided to work on a tune I had an idea for, which was about the best way he could describe me, an idea man. And he says, or a no talent F person. And I'm controlling my language because Roman may pop in at any moment. So you see this picture, and he says, "Gah! This made my friend Bill cringe when I showed it to him. He texted it to me, as a matter of fact. To play this masterpiece on the worst equipment ever, well, it was my mom's copy of the album, and she wanted to see how her fancy record player chewed through this vinyl. We didn't even use a carbon brush or a spin clean device before we played it. Rock on rock technology with the worst stylus ever producing tinny sound through 2-inch speakers. It sounded good. Testament to the remastering process and the quality that Bill made possible. You see, Bill is now very much into vinyl records. Yes, I am, and aren't we all? Of course, he grew up with the medium, but was a first adopter to when this new technology of compact discs came about. In fact, he had the first commercially released Sony CD player. He's also a musician, so he didn't mind the volume of first released CDs were classical recordings because he didn't have to flip the record during a movement. Isn't that a pain, flipping the record while listening to classical music while taking a massive dump for the ages? I digress. I bought the majority of my CDs from him when we went into business when he went into business with a CD only store. Gee, and that CD store was the first studio for a little band project called Spudlock. We would record a song in the back of his store and rush it up to our mutual friends, not of Omaha's, college radio show. It was late night and played the music nobody wanted to hear. Fit us, right? But it was motivation to do music. We done did it. Somehow, some way, we decided to take some of what we had done and release a tape of what we did. We'd send promo copies to all the happening college radio stations that played Devo, Kraftwerk, and Yoko Ono. We sold 5s of copies. Life got in our way. The person that actually did the design on this record release has taken over our friend's late night radio show and then had the raw nerve, to also graduate. We also were blackballed from said radio station because we had the audacity to put our crummy little radio show on a competing college radio station. They had first rights of refusal, and hell, they refused the damn show. A brief attempt to do live shows, and that was that with that. The show he's talking about is called Under the Shelf. Anyway, here I thought Bill was all CD, champion of CD, keeper of the CDs. Yet when CD technology eventually became quaint and the rise of the computers meant everything digital forever, my best friend came home. Vinyl was now the digital analog way to listen to music, or to hear music. Come on, we didn't shoot CDs or 8-tracks or cassettes or wire recordings or MP3s or USB sticks or hit clips or DATs into space for the aliens to rock out to Sick of You by Guar. No, we sent a gold-clad record. And that's where the action was. Edison, you jerk, or other words. There's a picture from one of the videos that I put up as a promo for the Meh album. So he says, Bill is the champion of this record re-release of our nonsense. He's got a following on his vinyl YouTube channel, Box of Sound. He did a series of promo videos showing the places where we recorded the songs on Meh. The picture above was the third place we had a studio. No, not the dumpster, but very fitting for us. This was a medical building, an office building, and we had the corner office where we would get audio bleed from the CBs of delivery trucks roaring down the road. And that's the truth. We would be working on something or mixing something, and all of a sudden we'd hear, and it was somebody driving through on Lorraine Road with a linear amplifier on their CB radio or a single sideband unit, just blasting through and leaking through the bad electricity we had there and coming into our stuff. We never recorded any of that. Maybe we should have made a song out of it. But anyway, I digress. Bill moved his CD store to mail order only. Good hell. I originally typed internet only, but I must need another martini. I had a short lived VCR cleaning business and the rent was right, so we worked with it. We made some great music here, as well as did great under the shelf radio shows. Now, yes, dumpster. Truth be withheld, these Spudlock tunes were actually good. Someone in the post Pansmatic area needed to hear these efforts, so Bill got the wheels in motion to actually release the album on vinyl. Difference? The master tapes. When we took our tapes in to be mastered for cassette, the engineer said, quote, "You really recorded this on a 2-track audio cassettes?" And yes, and Bill can also produce. He made our recordings sound great, and the vinyl mastering tech was also amazed that the tapes from the 80s, made with consumer equipment, could sound so good. He used a really good mastering company that's well made music and a really good record producer. Well, I produced it, and so did Todd. And it took a year, but this was the result. Look, Ma, I'm on a record. Send this to outer space in a 1979 Chevy Chevette, Mr. Musk. We drove non electric shitboxes in the 70s and 80s. An alien would find this and laugh at Rad Motorbike Chick or child support and then invade the Earth because they would think all our crankshaft pulleys fell off or transmission slipped. Yes, but Spudlock would save us all, according to the song Human Race. See, we would give the aliens some toothpaste and call it the human race. Then they would swallow the tubes and get real green. They'd get puffed out funky, and out would fall their spleens, and an enormous billboard would come out of their heads that lighted up tilt, and then they were dead. It's no war of the world, but of course they wouldn't die without giving us mile-long CVS receipts. So you can hear and buy this piece of vinyl here, and you can see it on the bottom of the screen. And please pay more where it says $20 US or more. Does anybody ever pay more? As a matter of fact, let me stop you right there. Yeah, people have given us a tip. It's mighty flattering when you do that. But anyway, yeah, we do need the dues because I'd like to at least break even on this record. So if you don't have a copy, please buy one. Anyway, so plus you can check out Bill's Box of Sound, and that's what you're doing right now by watching this. You're checking it out. Okay, so that's that. So then he goes into some other things there on his page. So yeah, that is Ricochet's junk blog, and we'll go back to that. Holy crap! I have wasted 22 minutes on that. Yikes! so, oh, Thumbfinger, thank you for ordering Spudlock. And I'll be sending that to you as soon as I get the order. I'll probably send it out on Monday, pending the weather. Oh my gosh. Crazy stuff. All right, let me remove that banner here, and we'll talk about some other things. Let's see. Um, I put my Diet Coke over here. This is why the screen shakes every time I lift it up. All right. All right. Some other fun things. Watched the Browns game today. Now, I'm not a big football fan. My number one thing is music, but my wife loves Browns football and Ohio State football, so I watch it with her, and it's turned me into kind of a football fan. It was a playoff game, and the Browns lost. But the only saving grace about that whole thing is that the quarterback for the uh, uh, the Texas what do you call it? Oh yeah, the Houston Texans. That's it. Their quarterback is C.J. Stroud, who used to be with the Ohio State Buckeyes. So at least somebody that we liked or used to like helped win the game. But it was a shame. I mean, Browns have had a very, very tough year. Lots of injuries, lots of people who can't play football because they're injured. and they've just been tugging at straws the whole year, and it's amazing that they've won as many games as they have. So that's enough sports talk. We're gonna move on. Um, Stuff I want you to check out. There's a interview with banjo player Bela Fleck, um, and it's on the Rick Beato channel. It's about an hour or so long, and I've talked about Bela before. My friend Kevin Hart and I, we went to Ann Arbor, Michigan to see Shakti, and Bela Fleck opened up, and I talked about it on this show previously, especially the end of the show where he played a complete version of Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue on solo banjo, unaccompanied. Blew me away. This interview, I mean, I'm not a bluegrass fan, yet I love this guy's music. Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. Uh, and he gets really geeky about banjos. He gets geeky about audio equipment, and he talks a lot about how he came up with the idea to play Rhapsody in Blue. Mostly it was through the pandemic, but I want you to check that out. It's on the Rick Beato channel, Rick Beato, or Rick Beato, flat on my Cedo, and he does. If you're a musician, you probably know about his channel, so check that out. And next month, Bela Fleck is coming out with an album of Rhapsody in Blue. It's going to be released in the middle of February or so. 100-year anniversary of the publishing and the premiere of Rhapsody in Blue. Very, very cool. Um, so I've already pre-ordered the vinyl copy. There's like a bluegrass band version of it. There's an orchestral version of it. And there's, I guess, a blues version of it. There is a piece written by Gershwin called Untitled Piece for Banjo. And there's also a version of the Gershwin composition Rialto Ripples, which you might remember if you are a comedy geek, is the music that was played as the opening and closing theme to the old Ernie Kovacs show. Now, the only reason I know about that is because I watched reruns on PBS dozens of years ago. But it's that boom 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 boom. Okay, enough of my bad um, onomatopoeia of what that song sounds like, but I can't wait to hear that. More things. Oh, hello, Scotty Strychnine. What's up? Saw ya on Grown Man Record Night last night. Um, Between you and me, I really want to hear what that guitar pedal that Mikey got sounds like. It looks very, very cool. Other things I wanted you to check out. I posted this on Facebook. The Bob Lefsetz podcast. Now, this guy is like a music industry insider. He writes a lot about records and personalities and things like that. He's got a podcast. I believe it's on iHeartRadio, the Bob Lefsetz podcast. And Lefsetz, if you don't already know, is spelled Lefsetz. Um, I've been enjoying that podcast for quite a while. He will sit and talk to somebody and interview them for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And some of the questions asking is like, why on earth is he asking this person this question? The balls of him asking this. But yet these people answer, and it's very insightful. And you find out a lot of stuff about these artists. Now, the most two recent uh, episodes of the Bob Lefsetz podcast, Stuart Copeland of The Police. He talks about a book that he's just put out. He talks about his life growing up in Beirut and in Europe as the son of a CIA employee, and also going to college in California working summers in the UK and coming up with the idea for a band and recruiting Sting out of a jazz band and forming the Police. Really, really interesting stuff. Also, a lot of cool talk about he's got 7 kids, and he talks about how only one of them kind of has any musical talent, but they're all self sufficient. And I guess he had a musical family, and they wanted him to play musical instruments. They trying to force all these other instruments on him, but there were no drums in the house. But when he discovered drums, his mind opened up. And anybody who really digs Stuart Copeland knows how fantastic of a drummer he is. So I recommend that. But what just came up a few days ago, and I haven't even finished listening to it yet, but he interviews Burton Cummings, and he was the lead singer of the Guess Who, and also has a popular, a long solo career on his own. This talks about the history of Burton Cummings, his music, and forming and joining the Guess Who, and his success with them, and also talks about when the Guess Who broke up, some ex members, which were not the original members of the Guess Who, got together and registered the name The Guess Who and started playing the Guess Who's songs and booking themselves as the Guess Who and trying to say, yeah, these are our songs. And so now he's trying, along with Randy Bachman of Bachman Turner Overdrive, he's trying to get them to cease and desist, or at least change the way that they market themselves to say this is a Guess Who tribute or this is a Guess Who cover band. He's really, really upset about this, and he tells you all about it on the podcast. But check it out, the Bob Lefsetz podcast. You can go back and check out old episodes, but the most 2 recent episodes are Stuart Copeland and Burton Cummings. Very highly recommended. Okay, this week, next issue, as they say. Uh, and let's see. Hello to the North Carolina vinyl picker. Good to see you. And I guess who makes sense. Yeah, everybody likes to play with that. I guess that the way that they got the name Guess Who was that they put out a record in Canada, because they're from Canada, and I guess they didn't put the name of the group on it, and they just said Guess Who, and people took it to be the name of their band. So that's how it happened. There's that old takeoff on Abbott and Costello's "Who's on First," where the guy says, "Well, there's a great band. Oh yeah, there's this concert, and who's playing the concert? Do you know who's playing that concert? Why, yes. Okay, well tell me, what band is playing this concert? Yes. Well, okay, stop teasing me. What's the name of the band? Can you tell me? Yes. Well, who is it? Yes. Tell the name of the band." And then he goes on and says, "All right, who's opening for them?" Says, well, guess who? Well, I don't know who's opening. Who's opening for the headlining band? Guess who? Well, I don't know who it is. And he says, "Well, you got to find out who's opening for them." And they say, "Well, it's who? Who's the opening band?" "I don't know who the opening band is." And it's a great takeoff of the old Abbott and Costello team, "Who's on First." I forget who did it. If anybody knows, put it in the chat. Anyway, this week, Rhino Records announced their newest hi-fi offerings. Now, last year they started the thing. They put out John Coltrane's Sound, and they put out the first Cars album. All of these albums are cut from analog by Kevin Gray at Coherent Sound, on all analog equipment, and pressed at Optimal in Germany, and they sound unbelievable. But they're about $40 a piece. But once you pay the shipping, postage, and everything else on it, it ends up being about $50 for this record. But the sound is worth it, and this is sold out. You can't get this. But they announced that you know, their next release is going to be an Ornette Coleman album, which I'm not familiar with, and it's also going to be Television Marquee Moon. Now, I'm really excited about this because I love this album, Marquee Moon. But the one thing that I'm interested in is, since they're going to be using the original master tape, there's a difference between the vinyl album and the CD version of this album. Uh, Two songs in particular. Uh, on side one, let me open this up. Sorry about the noise. The title cut, Marquee Moon, on the original album is 9 minutes and 58 seconds, and the song fades out near the end. On the CD version, it goes on for almost 10 and a half minutes, and it doesn't fade out. The band actually finishes the tune. So I am wondering which version is going to be on this Rhino Hi-Fi. Is it going to be the version that fades out, or is it going to be the one where it doesn't fade out and you get to hear the band finish it? Very interesting. And they also let the ball drop that later on this year, they're going to be putting out as well the Cars Candy O. Can't show that or else I'll get dinged by the YouTube censorship police. They're also coming out with John Coltrane Olay, which I'm very interested in getting. And very excited about that Rhino Hi-Fi stuff. And Scotty says that she ordered a television. You've got a white label promo, but I picked up that Cars album, and I have an original pressing. It's one of the very first pressings of the very first Cars album that came out, because I was working at a record store at the time. I compared them back to back, and it's like, whoa, dynamics, sound stage. It just sounds so clean, and it rocks. Yeah, and yeah, you forgot about the track time difference. Yeah, well, I ordered it, and hopefully it'll be here soon, and I will report on it. What else has Scotty got to say? Let's see. They mentioned that it'll be the longer version. Okay, where did you hear that, Scotty? I'd like to find out. I'd like to find out where that is mentioned, because I haven't seen anything about it yet. I know that Mazzy did a video about it, but I've been really busy. I have not watched his video about it. I'm trying to get to do the vinyl tag. Let's see. Oh, on Steve Westman's channel. Okay. I got to get a hold of Steve Westman. He said that he wants me to show up on one of his audiophile roundtables, which is very flattering, and I'll be happy to show up. Oh, so he had a guy from Rhino on. Very cool. Okay. Check in the chat room. Read Scotty's remarks. He's dead on. Anyway, so yeah, I was amazed that I was able to put out a video this week. And the video that I put out, I can't show it right now. I changed a stylus on one of my cartridges, because I've got several turntables here. And there's one that I was using to play 45s with. And I took a look at the needle, and it was bent. It still worked, but the needle was bent, and I don't want that breaking records or chewing up records. So what I did was I bought a new stylus from LP Gear, and showed people how to put it on, and that it's a P-mount cartridge, etc., etc. It's pretty cool. Anyway, excuse me. I'm trying to get all the stuff together to do my 2024 vinyl tag video. Have you been seeing these videos that have been coming out? The vinyl tag? Uh, Everybody's been doing them. And I've got pretty much all of my answers finished. But it takes time to put this stuff together and to sit in front of these and edit the video. And I am a very busy person. I got stuff to do here at the house. You know, I'm a caregiver. I take care of several other things, even though I'm retired. Retired. I'm busier than I've ever been in my life. Anyway, but not only is there a vinyl tag, but they've also got a CD tag. They've got an alternate vinyl tag. They've got a punk rock tag. They've got a jazz vinyl tag. And I just saw that there's a Beatles tag, and there's also a progressive or a prog tag. It's like, come on. What am I going to do? I'm going to stick with the original vinyl tag, even though I've got issues with the way that the questions were put out. Oh, excuse me. An itch in my nose. Excuse me. Okay, that's fixed. But man, so many vinyl tags. And because I haven't done mine, I don't want to watch other people's vinyl tags as well, because I don't want people's answers to affect my vinyl tag. You know, there's a couple of questions on there which really conflict with each other. So if you answer both of these, you're I don't know. It's okay. I'll tell you what the questions are. One says, if you could listen to music from only one decade, what would it be? Okay, very tough question, but it's answerable. And then it says, if you could only listen to music from one country, what would it be? Oh, well, wait a second. Are you limiting my choices here? So I only want to listen to music from the 1940s from Yugoslavia. No, it's a confusing list, but I will answer all the questions. I will do the vinyl tag, and hopefully it'll be out this week. Crazy stuff. But 2 weeks ago, we did a little end of 2023 thing, and one thing we didn't do was a in memoriam. So I'm going to do that segment right now and do a little jingle from an old Jim Carroll band song. And we'll say that these are people that died. 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 They were all famous and they died. Oh yeah, that was terrible. Terrible. I can't even play a proper, there you go. Can't even play a proper bar chord. What can I do? All right. I jotted down a few names of people who passed away in 2023. And the ones that hit me the most, Wayne Shorter, Jeff Beck, Ahmad Jamal passed away. Also, two members of the group Brand X. A few weeks ago, I showed a bunch of Brand X records, and I failed to mention that some of the members of that band have passed away. I believe that Percy Jones, the main bass player, is still alive. But in 2023, both Robin Lumley, the original keyboard player, and John Giblin, who was a sometime bass player for Brand X, passed away. Also, since we were talking about the Guess Who and that there's a band performing as the Guess Who and they aren't the real band, I heard that there is kind of like a Brand X tribute band performing as Brand X, and I believe that Percy Jones is trying to take legal steps to stop that as well. But let's see, who else? Speaking of television that we were talking about before, the band Television, Tom Verlaine passed away. 2/3 of the Yellow Magic Orchestra passed away. Uh, uh, Yukihiro Takahashi and Ryuichi Sakamoto passed away. Fortunately, Harumi Hosono is still with us, but he's really getting on in years. David Crosby passed away. Ray Shulman of Gentle Giant passed away. Now, he primarily played bass for Gentle Giant, but the whole band was multi-instrumentalists. But very sad that Ray Shulman passed away. Also, I found out that Napoleon the 14th passed away. No, not that guy, but the guy who did the song "They're Coming to Take Me Away," haha. He passed away in 2020. Also, T.S. McPhee, the guitar player for the Mighty Groundhogs, a pioneering British blues band, passed away. Les McCann, in the very last days of 2023, passed away. Gotta make it real compared to what? Who else did I write down? Those were the main ones that I wrote down. And I know that there were lots of other people that passed away. And it's sad that there are so many musicians that we've enjoyed for so many years, and they've been leaving us. And you know what? I'm gonna try and text Roman and see if he wants to come down. Let's see here. Let's do this and bring up Roman. Here he is. Oops, hold on a second. Okay. Are you coming down? Question mark. All right, it's been delivered. Let's see if he responds. Let's see. Vendetta says, if I remember correctly, Needlejuice Records released an unreleased Napoleon the 14th album, or Napoleon the 16th album, or 14th, 16th, whatever, right after he died. I believe I saw that because I was looking for some stuff about him. That would be pretty cool to check out. Oh, he's not. Okay, Roman's not going to show up, so anybody was waiting for it, let me say okay. And put that up there. Say okay. So that's what's going on with that. Oh, what else we got? What else we got? I'm almost done with my list here. There we go. So I will have to pick up that Napoleon the 14th record. I'll also have to find the original album that came out on Warner Brothers record. I've got the original single. I might have a copy of it right over here. Hang on a second. Where might it be? I got some other things here. Yeah, here it is. Here's an extra copy that I got. It's real dirty, but it is the original. Let me just wipe some of the dust off of it. This is a classic. They're coming to take me away, haha. And on the flip side, we've got the same song backwards. That was beautiful marketing. So, yeah, I had a copy of this when I was a kid, and for some unknown reason, I don't know why I did this. Children do strange things, and I was a strange child to begin with. I had a little box of 45s, and I was riding around going to. I think I was on my way to a friend's house to listen to records with him, and I had this record with me. And this kid that went to school with me saw me, and he came over to talk to me. And this guy was kind of a bully, And he said, "Well, what record you got there?" And I was showing him this, and I got this this Beatle record, and I got this record by the Animals, and it's, "Oh, I got They're Coming to Take Me Away, haha! This is my prized possession." He says, "Oh yeah, can I see it for a second?" And I said, "Well, if you want to take a look at it, yeah, sure. Here, take a look at it." So he took it, and he says, "Yeah, it's real nice." Bam! Threw it on the ground, and it smashed into a billion pieces. I went home and cried my eyes out because the rotten bastard had broken my copy of They're Coming to Take Me Away, ha ha. So I can now unequivocally say that I've got more records than he ever dreamed of having. And you know, maybe he's dead. So I don't know. I'm not going to say his name just in case he's watching and say, "Oh, I used to know him. I liked Bill when he was small." But I've always liked weird music. Um, Malcolm Tent, who has a very interesting video channel that's called Malcolm Tent, and he does a weekly show called Tent Talks Tunes. He's an artist. He's a record salesperson. He's a record producer. He's a bass player for the group Anti Scene, and pretty cool guy. He performs at the devotionals that happen in the fall, and he announced that devotional is going to be happening in September of this year at the Beachland, and I intend on being there. So that's very cool. And let's see, is there anything else? I got nothing else to talk about. Um, no, I'm not record collecting out of spite. The only reason I really collect, Vendetta says, record collecting out of spite. Nah, that's not why I collect records. I collect records because I love the music. No other reason. I'm not looking to make myself famous through my record collecting. I'm not looking to make a fortune off of my record collection. I'm not a seller of records. I'm a collector of records, and I love music. Many, many, many different types. And like a lot of people who collect records as de- in as devoted a way as I do, um, they probably have a lot of music that they would not want to admit to everybody they know that they listen to. But hey, you do these things. Anyway, all right. I got one more thing I want to do because I know that a lot of people really enjoyed it when we did it before. Um, as I mentioned one time a few weeks ago, or about a month or two ago, I happened upon a very large collection of 45s, and I'm whittling them down, and I'm going to be donating some of these, but I want to keep some of these, and I just want to see if there's anything that I want. And oh, Vendetta, I like this. I like collecting music because I get dopamine from seeing lots of physical media on my shelves and playing it, of course. Well, come on, yeah, isn't that what it's really all about? And Thumbfinger says, "I'm going broke for my record collecting, not famous." LOL. Perfect, wonderful. Anyway, so I pulled out a box of 45s and showed them, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, so right here, I just pulled them out of a box. 45s. I have no idea what's in here, but you and I are going to look at this and we're going to find out what 45s these are. Okay, so let's start here. And so you got to figure out what the A side is. Ooh, I don't know either of these songs. Jimmy Gilmore and the Fireballs. They're the ones who did Bottle of Wine, Fruit of the Vine, When You Gonna Let Me Get Sober. But this is not that song. This is Ain't Gonna Tell Anybody. And the flip side is Young Am I. Very cool. Never seen that before in my life. Let's see. Next we've got, oh, this was popular, and it's a Columbia record in an A&M Records sleeve. It's Blame It on the Bossa Nova, The Dance of Love by Edie Gourmet. Backed with Guess I Should Have Loved Him More. What is next? Let's see. Ugh. I've heard this name before, but never heard any of this music. It's Vern Gosdin with Never My Love. Is that the song by The Association? Don and Dick Idrisi. I believe that this is the same song that The Association did. You asked me if this heart of mine would ever grow tired of you. Never my love. And the flip side is I sure can love you. But maybe she might not let you. Ooh, speaking of the Guess Who, we've got Albert Flasher backed with Broken. Yeah, I've been pulling out all my Guess Who records and listening to them again because of this Burton Cummings interview. Oh, we've got Merle Haggard with Think It's Gone Forever. Backed with If We're Not Back in Love by Monday. And another Merle Haggard record. Oh, here we go. Life of a Rodeo Cowboy. And I'm Always on the Mountain When I Fall by good old Merle Haggard. A lot of people love him. I'm not that fond of him, although I do like the song "Mama Tried," which was which is performed a lot by the Grateful Dead. Okay, so we've got Bill Haley and the Comets with two songs I've never heard of. We've got Puerto Rican Peddler and Skokian, which I believe that's the A side on this. Never heard that. I may have to check that out. Next, we've got Emmylou Harris with You Never Can Tell, C'est La Vie. And that's the old Chuck Berry song. And that's also the song that Chuck Berry's version was featured in Pulp Fiction. You can tell that you can tell C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. And on the flip side, you got You're Supposed to Be Feeling Good by Rodney Crowell. All right, next. More Emmylou Harris. We've got Too Far Gone, backed with Tulsa Queen. Almost like Johnny G's show where he plays 45s, but I don't play the 45s. I just show them. Ooh, the Blue Sky label, Dan Hartman. Here we go. Instant Replay by Dan Hartman. And the flip side is like a remix or a replayed version of that. Pretty cool. Oh, back on the Decca label for Bobby Helms with, oh yeah, this would have come in handy during the Christmas season. Jingle Bell Rock. And the flip side is, I've never heard this one. Wonder if it's an unreleased B-side, Captain Santa Claus. Okay, we're about halfway through these so far. All right, Chico Holiday with Young Ideas. And the flip side, Cuckoo Girl. Here comes a MCA Records. Oh, here we go. Here, this is a hit. Rupert Holmes, Escape, the Pina Colada song. And on the flip side, Drop It. I believe Rupert Holmes was the guy who wrote the song Timothy, which was a song about cannibalism. And he tells the whole story about that song when he was on the Gilbert Gottfried Amazing Colossal podcast. That is something that would definitely be worth checking out. It's Rupert Holmes guesting on the Gilbert Gottfried Amazing Colossal podcast. Now, Gilbert Gottfried's been dead for over a year, but they're still rerunning the episodes, so you should be able to go online and find it and listen to it. So check it out. All right, on the Tamla label, we've got Thelma Houston, Don't Leave Me This Way. Backed with Today Will Soon Be Yesterday. On the A&M label, let's see, which the A side? Oh, this is it. Right here. Humble Pie with Hot and Nasty. Flip side is You're So Good to Me. Both of these were from the album Smokin', but not Inhalin'. On the old olive green Warner Brothers label. Oh, check it out. Vehicle by the Ides of March. I'm the friendly stranger in the black sedan. I want you to stop inside my car. I got pictures, got candy. I'm a love of a man, and I can take you to the nearest star. Next, on Motown. Let's see. Okay, now, Never Can Say Goodbye by the Jackson 5, backed with She's Good by the Jackson 5. Now, you know what? I talked about this powdery type of finish that winds up on a lot of 45s. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run out of the room. I'm going to take a rag and I'm going to clean this off and see if it looks any better. Hold on. I'll be right back. I know we've gone over. Notify the affiliates. We're going to delay the local news. But hang on. I'll be right back. Here, I'll just do this. All right. I am back. Here we go. Did you miss me? Yeah, of course you did. All right, so I went and cleaned it off just a little bit, and it looks a little bit better. But I don't know if that's mold or if that's something that comes from the factory or what. But we're almost done with this pile of 45s. Oh, speaking of the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson, oh, we've got a copy of Beat It. And that's backed with a track from Off the Wall, which is Get on the Floor. Kind of hard to see. There we go. Couple more. Oh, this is a cool song. On the Liberty label, Popsicle by Jan and Dean, backed with their version of Norwegian Wood, the Beatle track. That'll be interesting to check out. 2 records left. We've got Jan and Dean again with Rosie Lane on the Door label. And the A side of that is We Go Together. Last and least, 2 songs I have never heard by Jay and the Techniques. One, oh wait, I may know this one. Here We Go Again. I think I've heard that one. And the other side is Keep the Ball Rolling. Very nice. All right. Well, listen, it's been a lot of fun. There's going to be more stuff I'm going to talk about next week. And let's see. Let me take a quick look on the Zappa calendar, see if there's any interesting stuff. Let's see. Today is the anniversary of the release of the album Imaginary Diseases. And tomorrow will be Ed Mann's 70th birthday. So happy birthday, Ed. I know you recently decided to retire from the music world and to sell off all of your equipment because you've stated that since the death of your daughter, you really couldn't continue on in music. And we really feel for you, and we're very sad that you've made this decision. I think that if you've still got the talent in you, that you should do it as a tribute to her. I mean, if your daughter was still around, would she want you to stop playing music? I don't think so. But we're going to have to respect your decision, Ed. We love you. And keep on keeping on. I hope you are able to find happiness in your life. And let's see. Next week, we will be here and it'll be Cal Schenkel's birthday. You know who Cal Schenkel is, don't you? If you're a Zappa fan, you know who he is. He's the one who has done artwork for many Zappa covers, from the sublimely simple all the way to the crazy, crazy complicated stuff like Burnt Weenie Sandwich. Oh, and he did stuff for years and years and years. He even did a lot of graphics for the Zappa movie releases. So, yeah, next week it'll be Cal Schenkel's birthday. We'll find some way to celebrate. Maybe I'll reach out to him and try to do an interview. That would be cool if I could do that, but I don't know. Anyway, I want to thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. Just thank you for being you. I hope that you're enjoying music in your life, and that you're safe, warm. I know it's cold in many parts of the U.S. Sometime in the month of January, I may very well do an early show. I'll try and let people know ahead of time, because I know that the folks in Europe enjoy it when I do a show, which is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time. Then it's like early evening in Europe and other parts of the world. So I want to thank you for showing up. I had a great time, and I hope you did too. And have a great week. Stay tuned for your local news. Let's make some more silly noises. And have a good night. That's it, my friends. Good night. Hope to see you next week. My pleasure.